and open up and win Malone. And you know, on the mind of Mutombo, who was just named the Rookie of the Month for the month of January. He is racking up these Rookie of the Month awards. He wants to go in with some big numbers going into the All-Star game. He put them up on Monday, and tonight is his final game before becoming the first Nugget rookie ever to appear in an NBA All-Star game.
Well, one of Dikembe's biggest assets has been his ability to learn quickly. We'll see tonight how much he's learned from Moses Malone.
The Bucks have the ball. They played last night and lost in Detroit 102-94, while the Nuggets, after the Minnesota game Monday, came to Milwaukee Tuesday and have been waiting here for the last 2-3 days, and that's a switch.
It really is, and it'll be important to see how quickly the Nuggets get off. Remember, they came out very soft against Minnesota. The T-Wolves made their first 8 shots.
Frank Brickowski overplaying Cadillac Anderson. Anderson, who of course was a rookie in San Antonio and then came to Milwaukee along with Alvin Robertson for Terry Cummings. And Anderson traded on to the Nets before coming to Denver. And Reggie Williams sinks the first one from the outside.
Reggie's been on a tear the last 4 games. He's averaging about 20.5 points per contest. Good to see him get the first one down.
Former CU star Jay Humphries being watched by Garland. Humphries accelerates. Moses Malone away from the hoop. Into Brickowski. And we have a whistle, the block by Mutombo, but I think a foul came before that against the Nuggets.
I thought Reggie was going to get away with the call, but after he shoved the man, watch the push right underneath there by Reggie. You see Fred Roberts go flying. A late whistle, but the official did catch it.
The Bucks with a record of 21 wins, 24 losses. That's 5th place in the Central Division. Nice play, but a block by Anderson. Robertson going to Fred Roberts, and the Nuggets leading 2-0. There's Mutombo ahead of the field. Gift wrap by Winston Garland, and the Nuggets snap out to a 4-0 lead.
Al, I would think that is one place where Dikembe certainly has the advantage over Malone. His ability to run the floor. Let's see if Mutombo doesn't get out quickly. Several opportunities tonight.
Overplaying was Anderson, but he is called for the foul. I would say that tonight's game is the greatest possibility that Mutombo will play 48 minutes. The first meeting, Malone got the better of it, at least on the point side, but that night Mutombo was playing with a bad ankle. He comes up with his block here. Here's Macon on the run. The fadeaway, got it. Over on a pass, so Denver gets it again. Mutombo wants to go to work against Malone. There's that fadeaway that tied the game 2 weeks ago and sent it into overtime, which allowed the Nuggets to win 107-100.
Good thing Dikembe came closer on that one.
Yeah.
Just with that shot.
Milwaukee hasn't made a shot yet until Frank Brickowski muscles his way in. The 8-year veteran out of Penn State. He's averaging 10 points a game. 6-2 the Nuggets lead. 9.5 left in the first quarter. Macon off the screen of Anderson. He goes baseline for the reverse, and Anderson tips it in. Cadillac, who nailed the Bucks for 23 in Denver, gets his first 2. And that matches all the scoring he did Monday against Minnesota. Cadillac, an off night offensively.
First game of the season, he did not score a basket, only 2 free throws.
3-second violation is called on the Bucks.
I would think the pace of this game is going to be very important, Al. Of course, Frank Hamlin would like to get down in a slow game, not only because he played last night, but that's just the way his club plays best. The Nuggets, of course, would like to up-tempo this one.
Jay Humphries reaching in. The foul on Humphries. Frank Hamlin may need Dale Ellis pretty soon off the bench. Mr. Offense there, but he is now being the 6th man in the 6-man role. Nuggets are now offering a new 8-game ticket package that features games in which Dikembe Mutombo. Winston Garland hits the 2 foul shots, and the Nuggets are off to a 10-2 start, and now they're pressing in the backcourt. Breaking it is Roberts.
Remember, the Nuggets came out in that pressure defense after the game was underway in Minnesota. Paul comes out with that defense right off the bat, making sure his players are active early on.
The strip of Mutombo. Here's Humphries. He sees Roberts again. And Milwaukee bouncing back. The Nuggets with a record of 17 and 28. They're trying to snap their 4-game losing streak heading into the All-Star break. A near steal by Humphries, but Macon takes it back. And he is fouled in the backcourt by Alvin Robertson.
A lot of jockeying for position on that play right there. Mark, not a very good pass. It looks like Humphries going to come away with it. Reggie Williams holding on to Humphries' hand. And right there, the foul by Robertson.
Alvin Robertson, who led the NBA in steals last year. He's led him 3 times. And he's knocking on the door again this year. Reggie Williams, 2 of 2 from the outside. Matter of fact, Alvin Robertson just passed Magic Johnson into the number 2 spot all time in the NBA in steals. He's about 500 steals now behind. Who do you think is the all-time man thief in the NBA? Well, if you said Maurice Cheeks, you are correct. Here's Reggie Williams with Robertson. Humphries bats it away. And Williams, he started it and he ended it. And this one is high-flying just as we had anticipated.
Not only did he start it and end it, but in the middle, he got time to show the official that he was fouled, patting himself on the forearm. He couldn't up in time for the tip-in.
Reggie doing it all. Roberts knocked away by Mutombo. Now, that first game, Reggie Williams had 5 points in the whole regulation, 4 periods. He added 6 more points in overtime. He already has those 6 here in the first 5 minutes.
Now watch, he misses. Now he'll tell the official, I got hit on the arm. He stops and tips it back in.
That's part of the play. If he didn't tell the official that he got hit, he would have been out of the play. Meanwhile, Fred Roberts has been the big man offensively for the Bucks. He has 6 of their 8. 5 minutes on the nose gone by. Mark Macon, who has his pro high of 21 against Milwaukee. And Moses Malone grabs the rebound. Ahead it goes to Robertson. Kristoviak, who comes in.
Kristoviak got the basket, but give Fred Roberts credit. He was the one who initially came in and kept the ball alive on the backboard.
Anderson battles with Malone. There is Macon. Once again, the Nuggets showing their presence on the offensive board.
Against Minnesota, 29 offensive rebounds, and so far tonight, the Nuggets right back on the offensive glass.
Humphries, Kristoviak dives. Kristoviak, a great story coming back from the bad knee injury and surgery, sat out essentially 2 years, and it's a miracle that he's even playing. You can see the heavily wrapped up left knee. Which knee was it that he hurt?
His left. If it wasn't his left, we got a story, because he's got the industrial strength brace on that one.
Speaking of left knees, Danny Shea's injured hips, torn cartilage. He says he might even try it, but it doesn't look likely. And over the weekend, he's going to have it examined, and the possibility of surgery for Danny Shea's. Winston Garland, he was 1 of 10 from the field in Minnesota, and he hits that one here. The Nuggets, who won here last year, one of their 3 road victories, and they're trying to win again to get up to 4 wins on the road this year.
That call's going to go against Winston. Kristoviak trying to set the screen against Garland. And he reached out and grabbed Jay Humphries.
Dale Ellis now comes in. He wears number 3 because that tells the story about Dale Ellis, one of the great 3-point shooters in the history of the league. He replaces Fred Roberts.
He hit only 2 shots last night against the Pistons, both of them 3-pointers.
And speaking of threes, you see just Dale Ellis's presence on the floor brings the best of the 3-point shooters. Mutombo is hit from behind, and Moses Malone gets his first personal foul.
And what a great pass by Winston Garland. That's the toughest pass to make, right over the top as the man's running down the middle of the court. He had to fit it in perfectly. He did, and the foul on Malone.
5.5 left in the first quarter. So Malone gets his first foul against Mutombo. Don't worry about Malone getting in foul trouble. Man has not fouled out in 14 years. Broke Wilt Chamberlain's record for most consecutive games without fouling out. Reggie Williams knew about the three-point threat. Great pass by Garland. Great pass by Williams. And the Nuggets completed. Beautiful play by the Nuggets.
And you're right. Reggie Williams knew who he was guarding. He wasn't worried about the drive to the basket. He was right up on top of Dale Ellis. Ellis not able to get the shot away.
One good thing about the Nuggets game in Minnesota, they did score 32 points in the first quarter, their best output in the first on the road. Malone, he'll continue to dig inside, and Williams again makes the play. He tipped it to Anderson. Macon, Garland wide open, pulls the trigger, swish. And the Nuggets are on fire here in the first quarter. They lead by 9.
Winston's so wide open, he took a dribble just to let the defense get a little closer before he cast it up.
Denver shooting 63% from the floor in the first. Kristoviak, 6-year vet from Montana, he is stripped. Anderson gets it ahead. Garland keeps it alive. He stops. He pops. Mutombo buries it. And the Denver Nuggets are just riding high. A 20-second timeout is called by Frank Hamlin. And the Milwaukee Bucks hear the boos from the crowd as they walk to their bench. And Paul Westhead right now has to be thrilled and delighted. An 11-point lead.
Good defensive help by Winston, reaching in and knocking it away from Kristoviak. Cadillac throws it up in front of Garland. He's going to miss the jumper, but watch Dikembe being guarded underneath by Robertson, and that is a no match at all.
All 5 starters have scored. Williams and Garland each with 6. Anderson, Mutombo, and Macon each with 4. And the Nuggets looking to make a change, but it will have to wait. Joe Wolf and Chris Jackson are waiting to get in.
Of course, Milwaukee took the 20-second timeout, so unless they substitute, the Nuggets can't substitute.
Again, the trap in the backcourt. Dale Ellis wide open for 3. Ellis downtown is 71st of the season.
Now Dale a little one-dimensional, but that one dimension is about all he needs, because one of the best three-point shooters in the league.
Well, that one dimension is what Frank Hamlin now wants Dale Ellis to do to get his team back in and pumped up offensively. 3.5 minutes left in the first quarter. The Nuggets sitting on top by 8 points. Anderson takes it in and over Kristoviak. A nice move by Cadillac Anderson with 6 points. He was traded to the New Jersey Nets last January, played 1 game for the Nets before he came to Denver in the deal involving Terry Mills. Nuggets by 10. 3 on the nose left. Ellis gets away from Macon and he drills it. So Ellis making 2 in a row and a quick 5 points for Dale Ellis.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't a good sign that he was 2 for 9 last night, because he's not going to shoot that bad 2 games in a row.
Cadillac was 0 for 4 in his last game. He has now made 4 of 6, and the Nuggets are going to 6'10" Cadillac Anderson against Kristoviak inside. Kristoviak's listed at 6'10", but it looks like Cadillac has an inch or so over him. Now the double team on Ellis. 6 on the shot clock. Garland Nuggets getting their hands on every loose ball. Macon stops. He pops over Ellis. There's Williams scrapping, and Anderson has it. Reggie is open, pulls the trigger. Anderson walks in and misses. Still loose. Again, the Nuggets beat the Bucks to the loose ball. Williams gets the foul and hits. Sensational shot by Reggie Williams. Let's go home.
Well, nothing good happens when you get in the air defensively, and that time Reggie able to get his deep.
You really got to see this year with Mark Price and Brad Doherty and company. Reggie Williams unable to connect on the 3-point play. I think here in Milwaukee they're looking for 25, actually just 12 bucks who will play the game. There's one they have. Dale Ellis just unstoppable. 3 shots from the outside. He has 7 very quickly off the bench. The Nuggets lead it by 10. Brad Alojas has checked in for Moses Malone. Chris Jackson and Joe Wolf now in there for the Nuggets. Cadillac Anderson gets a rest, as does Winston Garland. Mutombo takes a shot in the nose. Humphreys dishes. Lohaus, good shooter from the outside.
You know, early on, Al, when Dikembe got the ball, as soon as he caught the ball, he was being double teamed. Now teams are letting him catch the ball, start to make his move before they go for the double team. And that time, Jay Humphreys right back to knock it away from Dikembe. This copyright pro.
Be the only man playing on this Nugget team in the All-Star game. It goes into Mutombo, but the pass a little bit too high. Watch out. And the Bucks getting it back. They have made another change. They have put in number 20, Jeff Grayer, the 4-year man out of Iowa State. One-time first-round draft pick. Kristoviak outside being watched by Mutombo. Lohaus with that little left-hand turnaround. And Kristoviak, one of the workers inside. Mutombo grabs that one in. That's only his second rebound. Cadillac Anderson already has 7 boards. And the turnovers now starting to add up for the Nuggets.
And some impressive statistics early on. Not only does Cadillac have the 7 boards, he's got 8 points. Winston Garland with 6 assists already tonight.
Ellis blocked by Mutombo. Taken off by Chris Jackson inside 30 seconds to go. Here is Macon. He's going, gone. Mark Macon slaps it home. And it's 6 points in the first quarter for the Nugget rookie. And we're down to a last shot, and all eyes will be on the Bucks trying to shake Dale Ellis free for another 3-pointer. Denver by 10. Humphreys looking at Ellis. You see him at the far side, being watched by Macon. Lohaus also a good 3-point shooter. Mutombo the rebound with 3 seconds to go. Macon, and they'll just hold.
And they're on line to do even better than the 29 offensive boards they had against the T-Wolves.
So the young Nuggets out hustling the veteran Milwaukee Bucks. Paul Westhead happy to have a couple of days just to work some practice sessions, which is nearly impossible once you get into the season. And Frank Hamill is just speechless after seeing the first 12 minutes of this game.
Frank looks like he played last night in Detroit.
Some full court pressure now against the Nuggets. Todd Lichty, who burned the Bucks 2 weeks ago. And it's a 10-second violation. Nuggets unable to get the ball over in 10 seconds. They have a lineup now of Jackson and Lichty in the backcourt. Anderson in the middle with Wolf and Williams up front. I guess Dikembe won't play 48 minutes tonight. It is Lester Connor in the backcourt for the Bucks with Ellis, Grayer, Lohaus, and Kristoviak. The call goes against Lichty.
That time Milwaukee with Lichty guarding Ellis tried to post up Dale, and they did a good job. Todd having to reach in, trying to poke it away, but gets all forearm. Ellis will go to the free throw line.
This will be the first foul shot for the Bucks in the game. Nuggets are only 2 of 3, and one of the reasons this one is moving along very quickly. Sunday, the Bucks beat Seattle here 122-106. Ellis playing his first game against his former mates and against Ricky Pierce, who went from Milwaukee to Seattle. And Ellis won the first duel. He had 23 points to 12 of Pierce. And there's a foul. Grayer gets hit with a personal, his first. So the Bucks have taken the route, Dan, with all the veterans. They have 8 players with 8 or more years of experience. The Nuggets have 1 on the current roster, not counting Walter, who's been injured. And that one is Scott Hastings, who sees very little action for the Nuggets. Jackson knows he'll go to the foul line.
15,
Lester Connor, who came out of Oregon State with a reputation of being a great defensive player. He came over to Milwaukee from the Nets in exchange for Cadillac Anderson last January. Williams is open, pulls the trigger. There's Joe Wolf with a tip, gets the left hand up there. And Joe Wolf, who returns home to Wisconsin, playing before a large throng of his fans. Ellis, quick release, and Wolf battles for the rebound. Wolf from nearby Kohler, Wisconsin, and had the team up to the folks' house. Parents made a big dinner, which is generally the custom when the team gets in here, and that gets an extra day. Cadillac misfires on that shot. 10-point lead for the Nuggets. They have been in front from start to finish. Ellis makes the fake. and gets to the foul line.
Well, that's what you have to do. You certainly have to honor Ellis's ability to hit from the outside. That time Todd a little too close. Ellis puts it on the floor, and once again Lichty reaching in. You see Ellis right now 5th as far as NBA three-point shooting, but he'll probably be closer than that before the season is over.
One of the winners of the All-Star long distance contest, also one-year runner-up to Larry Bird, and 11 points for Dale Ellis. And you know, he hasn't played 11 minutes yet. He came off the bench about midway in the first quarter, and he's keeping the Bucks in here. Lichty fires, swish. On Lichty from outside, and the Nuggets again by 10. Denver looking for their 4th victory on the road this year in 21 games. Lojas seeing a little more time with the injury to Danny Shays, and Ellis, that was deflected by a Nugget. I was going to say Ellis a better three-point shooter than a passer, but it leaves Milwaukee with 12 seconds. Paul Westhead working that gun pretty good here in the first half.
Well, Paul's not convinced that another Nugget deflected that ball out of bounds, and neither am I.
Milwaukee gets it back. Right now Milwaukee is not in a playoff spot. 21-24 is their record, trailing Miami, who has that last playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. They're half a game behind Miami.
Lester Connor trying to come away with the defense by clapping his hands in Chris's face. That didn't faze Jackson as he buried the outside jumper.
Jackson 21 a game in the last 2, including that great shooting performance against Indiana. Krzyzkowiak nails his second basket. Jackson at 26 in Indiana. Hit 10 of 14 from all areas on the floor, and went through one stretch in which he had 8 in a row, and he wants to take Connor again. The lane is open, the quick move, and with 3 minutes gone by in the second, Milwaukee comes back down. Ellis fakes the 3. Lojas inside. Nice job by Lichty, but he hit it out of bounds, using the body to keep Grayer away from the hoop. Marcus Liberty for the Nuggets. Frank Rakowski comes in for the Bucks.
Marcus missed practice yesterday because of a bad cold, but he seemed like he was feeling a little bit today. The 7-Eleven Citco scoreboard. New York leading Houston, Golden State losing at Charlotte, and Orlando losing big at Atlanta.
Action underneath after a Grayer jump shot. Now the Nuggets running, but out of bounds. Dikembe Mutombo comes back in. Well, he had a rest for 3 minutes and 14 seconds. And the Nuggets are able to maintain that 10-point lead while Mutombo was on the bench. Dikembe with 4 points and 3 rebounds in the first quarter. And we haven't seen much of Moses Malone since he was taken out midway in the first. Mike Hamlin, I guess, feeling that he needs a more youthful lineup or a more mobile center.
Yeah, well, you know, at age 37, these back-to-back games have to start wearing on Moses this time of the season.
And Frank Hamlin certainly has enough big guys. There are 6 players that are 6'10" or more on the Bucks. 2 on the shot clock. The force by Wolf, and here comes Ellis. The stutter step and a beauty blocked by Mutombo. Here's Jackson racing with Connor. Jackson with the move. And Lojas comes back, but puts it right into the hands of the waiting Joe Wolf.
At home cooking, agreeing with Joe Wolf. He's off to a pretty good start tonight.
The Nuggets again by a dozen. Al Albert along with a horse, Dan Issel, courtside at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Bucks averaging 15,783 per ball game. Jeff Grayer fills it from the outside. He's averaging just under 10 points per ball game.
He was one of the bright spots last night for the Bucks against the Pistons. 8 points and 8 rebounds.
Jackson working off the pick. Joe Wolf looking. Liberty for 3. Now Connor sees Grayer. And the follow by Frank Rakowski. There are so many Nuggets swarming around, but the bounce of the ball came right into the hands of Brakowski. Nuggets by 10. Wolf against Brakowski.
I didn't realize they'd made that change.
Well, I think this will be a 2 for the price of 1. That means we'll be celebrating 2 things, not 2 tickets for the price of 1.
I understood.
But a great deal nevertheless, and if you call that number, you'll find out exactly what it is. The Bucks have scored 6 straight, and they've sliced a 12-point deficit. Malone will stay with it, you know that, until he gets the foul.
Moses Malone, one of the best in the league of getting his own missed shot. He's done it for years. You'll see he tries to go up and under. Dikembe really bothered that shot. And Mutombo with the foul on the second opportunity.
Moses Malone played 2 years in the ABA with Utah and St. Louis. This is his 16th year in the NBA, and he signed as a free agent with Milwaukee, actually joining one of his favorite coaches, Del Harris, who coached him in Houston.
And just to show you the kind of shape he's in, Al, at the age of 37, Milwaukee gave him a 2-year contract with an option for a 3rd.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons they want a little more of a presence inside, a guy who could get to the foul line. Moses last year relegated to the bench in Atlanta. There's a steal. Here is Connor coming in. Connor still has it. And scores, not known for his offense.
Isn't it amazing how every coach in the NBA, when he feels his defense has been a little lackadaisical, goes to the half-court pressure to try and wake up his defense, and that time it paid off for Milwaukee with a turnover and a basket.
A 10-point run now for the Bucks, and a line drive hook shot by Mutombo, who's really zeroing in on his range now as we have hit the half-season mark, and that little turnaround hook. He's certainly becoming more and more proficient at it to open up his arsenal. Nuggets by 4. 5:20 left in the first half. Whistle blows, and there is a foul against Joe Wolf.
No, I think they called it a kicking violation, Al. They're going to reset the 24-second clock.
All right, but the whistle allows Paul Westhead to make a move. Lichty and Wolf go out. Anderson and Macon come on in. Bucks scored 10 in a row. Nuggets got the last basket. Brakowski, and he pushed off to get position on Anderson, so Frank Brakowski has his first personal foul. The Nuggets come in trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. Last 4 games against the Lakers at Golden State, against Indiana at Minnesota. Nuggets heading into the All-Star break, hoping to head in with a win. Philadelphia and Dallas on the road. Still 6 seconds on the shot. Macon draws the crowd. The whistle blows against Milwaukee. Moses Malone gets his second personal foul. Reggie Williams shuffling in for Marcus Liberty. So Marcus gets a few minutes of action here in the second quarter, and the Nuggets now have reunited their starting 5 for the final 5 minutes of the half. Off the screen of Anderson is Garland. Overplaying Brakowski, and it will be Denver ball. The Bucks are the #1 team in the league in steals.
Well, you can see why they anticipate almost every pass. That time Brakowski staying right behind Cadillac until the pass went to the left-hand side, and then he came around and knocked it away.
But Frank Havlin never knows what he's going to get. Very inconsistent Buck team. They have beaten the Bulls twice this year, then have come back here and lost to New Jersey and lost home to Sacramento. Williams for 3, and he is way off the mark on that shot. Anderson giving Brakowski some trouble. Brakowski gives a long look to the official saying, where's the foul? Nuggets holding on by 4. They have led from start to this point. But now it's only by 2. That's the first basket by Malone tonight. Nuggets are getting a little careless with the basketball.
Well, and they've settled for the perimeter jump shot. They built that early lead going inside and getting the easy baskets like that one, and Caddy blows it.
But Macon gets it back. 3:50 left on the clock, second quarter. Nuggets led by as many as 12, and that was just a couple of minutes ago. 10-point run by Milwaukee's gotten them back in the game. Mutombo twisting and turning. And now the Bucks with a chance to tie it up. Grayer and Williams. Ellis dashes into the corner. Now works on Macon. Slicing in is Reggie Williams. Reeling out now is Garland. Two men watching him. Williams makes the drive on Grayer. Macon indecisive in the air, and again the Bucks a chance to tie it up. Malone is there.
Not a bad foul by Reggie. That was going to be an easy basket underneath for Moses. Malone, a 79% free throw shooter. Reggie says, instead of this easy layup, Moses, let's go to the free throw line and see if you can earn it.
Second personal foul on Reggie Williams. And Moses, who is the final man remaining from the ABA days. And that means any guys who played in the ABA or even the NBA in that time. And what do you think when you take a look at Moses? And here you are now. And here's a guy you've played against in the ABA.
Moses, of course, one of only 4 people to come out of high school and go directly to pro basketball. The other 3, Daryl Dawkins, Pooh Willoughby, and Sean Kemp.
So Moses Malone makes it a three-point play, and for the first time tonight, Milwaukee leads.
That's a three-point play the hard way.
Once again, Mutombo rips the nets with a hook shot, and he's in double figures.
One thing that Moses does defensively is he tries to take position away from you. Once you catch the ball, you don't have to be concerned. He's not going to jump up in the air and block any shots. And Dikembe caught that one close to the bucket.
As far as next year is concerned. And he has a veteran ball club here that can be very dangerous come playoff time, but he's got to get him in the playoff.
When you make that entry pass to a person on the low post, Al, you have to throw the ball away from the defense. Brickowski overplaying the baseline side. Throw the ball to Cadillac's right hand.
Reggie Williams swooping around to get position. Here's Williams again. And Macon can't get it. So Williams trying to save it, although Macon signaling to Williams, nice try, appreciating the effort of his teammate. Inside 2 minutes to go, and once again the Bucks with the ball trying to take the lead.
And the crowd continues to murmur at the work by the Nuggets on the offensive boards. Reggie again coming away with the rebound.
The force by Grayer. Mutombo reaching over. Looks for Williams, who has Macon. Macon down the lane. Finger roll. No, Mutombo grabbing it with Malone, and they'll jump it up. So Mark Macon again snake bitten as he moves inside on the drive.
Mark that time taking it between 2 defenders and just laying it up a little bit too hard. Hits the back rim, bounces off. Mark is frustrated as anybody.
So the 2 centers will move to the foul line, and they'll jump it up. Mutombo and Malone. Macon can't get it in time. It was on the end line.
Moses telling the official, throw it up a little higher. I think the higher the official throws it, the more Dikembe is going to out-jump you. Moses, you better be happy the way it is.
Denver by 1. They led by as many as 12. Milwaukee 16-6 on their home floor. Mutombo giving Malone absolutely nothing. The patented fadeaway. Williams yanks another one down. Reggie Williams doing a job on the boards. We have him for at least 6 rebounds in the first half. Macon offensive rebound over Malone. Mutombo offensive rebound and beats Malone. The Denver Nuggets digging in on the offensive boards. And it's 12 points now for Dikembe Mutombo.
And right now, the offensive board work is what's keeping the Nuggets ahead in this game. 3 opportunities that trip.
Mutombo and Anderson each with 7 rebounds. Williams with 6. Inside the final minute of the first half. Frank Rakowski with the slam, and it's a 1-point game. Williams headed off by Grayer. Halftime, Dan and I will take a look back. Oh, it goes! Winston Garland, he practices that every day in the workouts.
Well, the old saying, I'd rather be lucky than good, certainly applied to that play.
I never thought he would pull it out in one of the games. The Nuggets by 3. Here's Mutombo keeping it away from Moses Malone, and that ends the first half on a high note. Winston Garland going creative on us. As mentioned before, Dan and I at halftime will take a look back at Sunday afternoon special halftime when all the legends came back to Denver and the all-time Nuggets team was selected. But we said strange things happen when these two teams come together. Garland whipping the pass inside, a losing scorer. Reggie Williams continues to become a great story of perseverance, even though he was scorned by 3 other teams in the NBA. Cadillac Anderson has nearly 12 points to go along with 12 rebounds a game. And Chris Jackson off the bench is the Nuggets' 4th leading scorer, followed by Walter Davis, who is out with the Achilles tendon. Nuggets also with Mark Macon and Winston Garland averaging just around 10 points a game. 7 members of the Nuggets team in double figures. Dikembe Mutombo walking out in what a rookie season he has had. And we could look all the way back to Moses Malone's rookie year in the year 1974-75. And Dikembe Mutombo putting up the kind of numbers that Moses did when he broke in 18 years ago. Some numbers certainly that stand out in the history of the NBA. Mark Macon drills it right inside. And to think Moses only got better in 18 years. It is astounding to think that he has averaged 22 points a game and 13 rebounds per game over the course of that time.
Dikembe, a young boy of 7 years old.
Yeah.
Back in Zaire when Moses first broke in.
Well, you think we'll get to see those kind of numbers over the next 18 years for Dikembe Mutombo? Actually, the difference, Moses, of course, broke in as a rookie at the age of 19, while Dikembe breaking in as a rookie at the age of 25. Nice pass by Mutombo, and the block by Moses Malone. That's not one of the statistics that are way up there for Moses. Alvin Robertson, who's been struggling with his shot, and look at this. He hits a 3-pointer. He didn't score all half, and he's bombed 2 from the outside. Robinson, a career 49-50% shooter, and he is really struggling from the floor this year in the low 40s. And you hardly even knew he was out on the floor in the first half.
That foul's going to go against Moses Malone, I believe. No, Fred Roberts. I'm sorry. Reggie Williams made a cut to the basket. Roberts just reached out and grabbed him. Important now that the young Nuggets go ahead and get this lead back. Don't let Milwaukee run off a big one.
All tied at 50. The Bucks have come back from a 12-point deficit. Humphries weaves all the way through and sets up Malone, who pulls the trigger a bit too hard. And it is against Humphries. Either the travel because he picked up his feet or came from out of bounds back in.
I think what happened when he fell down, he had a hold of the basketball and was laying on the line, on the baseline. Let's see. Yeah, see, he's laying out of bounds. He tried to scoot back in, but he didn't quite make it.
Rakowski knocks it away. Anderson gets it back, but that goes on the line. It is still tied at 50.
Delay of game call against Denver. Winston Garland grabbing a hold of the basketball and holding it while his teammates got back on defense.
Robertson. And Malone there gets the inside track. Well, when you talk about offensive rebounds, there's the best ever. Moses Malone, and he gives the Bucks their biggest lead of the game.
And what makes him the best ever is a unique combination of quickness and strength, and that one's going to go against Cadillac as he just threw Brikowski to the ground on the low post.
33, Greg Anderson.
You see Greg trying to get around in front of Brikowski. Got the elbow over the shoulder, and it looked like Frank hit his head on the floor.
Well, I think he knew he was going to, so he got his hands back there to protect himself. Bucks by 2. Brikowski, the hard drive, rejected by Mutombo.
I don't know what Brikowski was thinking. That looked like a setup for volleyball. Watch him. He just lays this ball up there, and Dikembe spikes it over the net.
Well, Mutombo put big numbers up against Minnesota in points and rebounds. He's putting big numbers up in block shots. He doesn't get that one. Fred Roberts shows a burst of speed. Mutombo had 5 blocks in the first half. He now has 6 in the game, and Paul Westhead calls a time. The Nuggets are now looking at their biggest deficit of the game. 9:19.
Dikembe's game that he has to be dissatisfied with this first half, Allen, has to be the free throw line. Paul looking on. That's something that he's really going to have to improve upon, because as he gets more and more comfortable offensively, he's going to be going to the line even more than he has been this first half of the season.
He's shooting 65% from the foul line. He took 21 foul shots Monday night in Minnesota. And did pretty well that night. Hit 15 of those on his way to his all-time high 39 points. That's his high ever as a pro or even a collegiate. 34 was his tops at Georgetown. Mutombo clears the track and sweeps that rebound down. He has 8 tonight. Mark Macon. And there is Reggie Williams once again lurking inside at 6'7", 195. Built very much along the lines of George Gervin, the Iceman, and Williams able to find those cracks in the wall. Alvin Robertson, Humphries for 3. This is the top shooting three-point team in the league, Milwaukee. And wrestling away, there's Williams again. Nuggets with Macon, 2-on-1. Macon stops and pops and hits. Mark Macon in double figures against Milwaukee. Coming off the 21-point performance, his pro high against the Bucks nearly 2 weeks ago. And the Nuggets pop back in front. Fred Roberts off the big screen. And it's Brikowski and Williams now tangling. Danny Crawford steps in between the two.
Brikowski set the pick, and he was the one who knocked Reggie off of Roberts, enabling Fred to get the wide open jumper. And then Brikowski and Williams continue to wrestle. They're going to count the basket and wave off the foul. You see Reggie going over the back down in the left-hand corner of your screen. And there's the shove. They're going to count the basket and give a foul to both players.
Double foul. It's the third to Williams and the second to Brikowski. The foul hurts the Nuggets more. Mutombo in the crowd. And upstairs for the rebound is Humphries, who now wraps it up for the Bucks. One bounce beautifully to Fred Roberts, who glides on in. A dozen points now for Roberts, and the Bucks open their lead to 3. Macon, and he lost it out of bounds.
Mark feeling he was fouled, but once again, maybe the decision not the best as he tried to take it against the basket, to the basket against the numbers.
Jay Humphries, that's only his second field goal of the game, only his 4th shot. And the Bucks lead now grows to 5. 7 minutes left. In the third quarter, we count down to the 7-minute mark. After the All-Star break, Nuggets get back in action on the road again in Portland on Tuesday. Mutombo has not taken many shots facing the basket, and Mark Macon stops the fast break, giving his first foul. That's the 13th foul on the Nuggets. And a timeout called by Denver. They'll be home twice next week, Wednesday against the Cleveland Cavaliers and Friday against the Dallas Mavericks. But a big All-Star break coming up for the Nuggets after this one. Relegated to the bench in Atlanta, averaging 11 a game. Signing with Milwaukee as a free agent. He's now their leading scorer. 16 points a game from Malone. 7-point lead for the Bucks with a 19-point swing in this one. And Mutombo is starting to become unstoppable.
Especially when he's played 1 against 1. That time the Bucks let Moses take him by himself.
This is a three, and it turns into a pass to Malone. He has Macon all over him, and a swipe by Macon. Williams calling for the ball, slicing in and beats two Bucks. Reggie Williams just squeezes through Rakowski and Alvin Robertson. And to squeeze through Robertson takes some skill. Macon another steal. Here's Macon racing away. Oh, and he kicks the ball out of bounds. Mark Macon on a breakaway. Winston Garland kind of kicks in the air in frustration. He's now being replaced by Chris Jackson.
Well, Mark made the play to start with a great steal, quick hands, and then couldn't convert at the other end.
Bucks still by 3. I haven't seen Dale Ellis here in the second half. Ellis was the guy that kept the Bucks in there in the first half.
And you see the first trip down to Milwaukee thinking that they can post up Chris Jackson. That was his first trip. Todd Lichty at the scorer's table. He'll be coming in to give Reggie Williams a blow. But watch the Bucks, see if they don't try to put Humphries down low when he's covered by Jackson.
Williams hustles out with 12 points. There's the arithmetic in the third quarter. And this has been a fun game so far as advertised. Wolf, and it goes off of Jackson out of bounds. The Milwaukee Bucks lost in Denver a couple of weeks ago. They had a 10-point lead midway in the fourth quarter before the Nuggets had a miracle comeback. Denver going on to win in overtime, 107-100. Rakowski fadeaway. And Mutombo actually tips it in.
They're going to give it to Malone, though. He was inside battling with Dikembe. He was the closest person to the tip-in.
Bucks lead it by 5. Mutombo, the double team. And Robert steals. Ahead to Robertson. Oh, he misses the stuff. But Humphries is there to follow it up. And the Bucks lead now grows to 7.
Well, you said earlier Robertson really struggling with his shooting. He couldn't even make a dunk shot that time.
I was talking about his outside shooting. Jackson not struggling with it. Gets his second bucket of the night. 5-point lead for the Bucks. And it looks like the Bucks are really hobbling into the All-Star break. A tired club. They played last night in Detroit, a very physical game against the Pistons. And the Nuggets just trying to stay close, perhaps feel they could wear the Bucks down going into the late stages of this one. Krzysztofiak is back in. Rakowski goes out.
Lucky break for the Nuggets that time. Robertson wide open under the basket. And we'll take a look at that missed dunk. Robertson just doesn't get up high enough, but Humphries takes him off the hook with the follow.
Nuggets on the run after Robinson missed shot. And Dikembe Mutombo slaps it home. 17 now for Mutombo.
And Dikembe doesn't miss many dunk shots.
Humphries takes a look in his 8th season out of Colorado.
And I'm sure that Jay was watching the scores this morning when he saw his CU Buffaloes beat Oklahoma. And there's Humphries going to the basket, slammed to the floor. But he'll have 2 free throws. Humphries a 79% shooter from the foul line.
13th pick out of Colorado in the first round by Phoenix. Was traded here to Milwaukee. This is his 4th year with Milwaukee. Around that time, the Nuggets then were very interested in bringing Jay Humphries to Denver, but the Bucks beat him to him. 9 points now for Humphries. And the Bucks lead it by 5. Mutombo, he gets the step. And there it is. Dikembe Mutombo having one of his best offensive nights, at least with that little running hook shot.
Yeah, and when Moses Malone gets no defensive help, he's not much of a match for Dikembe. Todd Lichty going to be called for the foul. The little shove from behind.
3rd foul on Todd Lichty. So Lichty at 6'4", taking on 6'10" Fred Roberts. Tough assignment inside, and Roberts will have a couple of shots. He has 6 field goals already in the ball game, and goes to the foul line for the first time. He was originally a second-round draft pick by Milwaukee. Went over to Italy to play. Dale Ellis is back in. Then signed with New Jersey. Then was traded from New Jersey to San Antonio for the rights to coach Stan Albeck. One of the few players in NBA history who were traded for a coach. He has 14 points tonight, the leading scorer for the Bucks. Dale Ellis coming off the bench is next with 13.
Two-man game with Jackson and Dikembe.
And the third man steps in. Mark Macon again, the hard drive, and he wiggles his way through. Mark Macon with 12 points. Once he starts hitting those breakaway layups, he'll be okay. There's no question that he is on the threshold, once he gets the experience of a rookie year, becoming one of the real exciting players in the Nugget uniform. Jay Humphries with 11. Macon is showing you again tonight the way he digs in defensively. Earlier we talked about, he idolized Alvin Robertson. That may be the kind of player he turns out to be, a Fat Lever type. Whoa! Twisting and turning is Mutombo, and he is right now taking Moses Malone to school. He has outscored Moses 21-11.
He really is, and Dikembe stayed after practice yesterday, worked on some of his individual low post moves all by himself. That time he'd been going to the middle. He did the crossover move and hung Malone out to dry.
Into the hands of Lichty, and now it's Lichty pushing the ball up the floor. 300. Witnessing, and that's their only trip in. They're 31-13. They have really put it together, injury-free this year. Mark Price, Brad Daugherty, Larry Nance, Hot Rod Williams, Craig Elo, very exciting player. It's a terrific, very smart ball club.
Well, they might be, as we take a look at the injured Danny Shays on Milwaukee's bench. Cleveland might be the second best team in the NBA. Unfortunately, they're in the same division as Chicago, and they're 6 games back right now.
Jackson from the outside. Actually, Cleveland with the second best record in the NBA. At 31-13, right ahead of Portland in that race. So Jackson's basket brings the Nuggets to within 1. We're inside a minute and a half left in the third quarter. Al Albert along with Dan Issel in Milwaukee, jockeying for position on the rebound, and it's swept away by Joe Wolf, and the Nuggets now with a chance to take the lead. Jackson and Lichty with Mutombo, Wolf, and Williams, the 5 on the floor for Denver.
Well, if the Nuggets win this game, they can credit their work on the glass at both ends of the floor for the victory.
Mutombo wheels and tries it with the left hand. Lojas, who has replaced Moses Malone, has his first personal foul. Lojas at 6'11" and about 240, and Mutombo goes to bang away against him.
Yeah, and there's another move that we haven't seen very much of as we take a look at the NBA rebounding leaders. Dikembe going to the glass and using the left hand.
Tonight, Mutombo with 8 rebounds and Anderson with 7, and Dikembe celebrates that foul shot, a little extra on that. 22 points from Mutombo in the last couple of games heading into the All-Star break. We're seeing a different Dikembe Mutombo offensively.
You know, he went through that stretch out that every rookie goes through about the end of what would have been a college season. He flattened out for a couple of weeks. I think he's starting to climb back up the hill again.
22 points already for Mutombo. And we still have 13 minutes to play. The foul shot by Dikembe ties it up, but on this end of the floor, a foul is called against Chris Jackson, his second.
And you saw Dikembe run over to Chris and say, "That's all right, Chris, let him come. I'll block it for you."
That's right. He has 6 blocks already in the ball game. Dikembe Mutombo. The Nuggets selected 4th in the first round. And if the Nuggets had the first pick, they probably would have taken him there.
Bernie would say that now, wouldn't he?
Nuggets, the good fortune of Mutombo still being available at 4. In a situation like that, you never know behind the scenes what went on to make him still available at 4.
Well, I don't know who was working with Dikembe or what he was learning yesterday, but he has certainly multiplied his offensive moves. Again, watch him go up and step underneath. And the foul comes from the outside against Fred Roberts.
Mutombo back to the foul line. 2 from here, and it's tied again. Dikembe 2 of 5 from the line.
That's a good move, too. When you miss that first free throw, go ahead and get off the line. Come back and start all over again. You make that first one, stay right where you were, and just do the same thing.
Trying to become the first Nugget ever to win Rookie of the Year honors in the NBA. Mutombo with 23 points. 11 have come here in the third quarter. Ellis for 3. Mutombo gets his hands on it. And now the Bucks will pull it out and work for a shot. They have 17 seconds to shoot.
There's about 6 seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock.
Humphries, no. And here's Lichty on the run. Nuggets have plenty of time. But Lichty on the fast break with the left hand, and he is fouled. The Kamikaze Kid taking it home. And he has a possible 3-point play.
But with Todd, you'd almost rather he go with the left hand than the right hand. When he takes it in, he likes to use that left hand. He kind of holds Lojas off with the right arm. And now he's got a chance for the 3-point play. And you're really pulling for Todd Lichty, all the injuries he's been through early in his NBA career.
You're just hoping that he's a player that got him all out of the way early. Last shot now, Roberts. And the steal by Anderson. He'll give it a heave. And he just didn't know his own strength, that Cadillac man. Well, the Nuggets get back in front as they move into the fourth quarter. 2-point lead for Denver. They were down by as many as 5 on the bottom. Dale Ellis starts it with a shot from the outside. That is a sign of danger if you're the Nuggets.
Absolutely. In the fourth quarter, you know the Nuggets are going to have to put up a good performance to hold off this veteran Milwaukee club. And as you said, Al, not a good start. Ellis drains the first shot.
All tied up now. It's 76. Cadillac Anderson gets free and walks in. Double figures for Cadillac Anderson with 10. And the Nuggets again by 2. It's Lichty and Jackson with Anderson now in the middle. Mutombo getting a rest. Williams and Wolf up front. Here's the Jeep Eagles stats, third quarter.
And Denver continues the good shooting. Milwaukee cutting into the rebound margin, however.
When Mutombo comes back in, he may have his first legitimate shot as Kristoviak hits from the outside of a triple-double, because he has 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 block shots. Again, it's tied, and 1 minute has gone by in this fourth quarter. Nuggets back home Wednesday night against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Jackson, Anderson in the middle, but tipping it is Grayer to Connor. Connor, Ellis calling for the ball. Kristoviak, same spot, same result.
Kristoviak, a pretty good outside shooter if he has time to get set. And that time, a nice setup by Dale Ellis.
And now he has a hot hand. Jackson over Kristoviak. And from behind, I think they got Jeff Grayer tangling up with Wolf. Yes, they did. Grayer has his second personal foul. Bucks now by 2. It is a seesaw ride, and so Paul Westhead has quickly put in Dikembe Mutombo. Joe Wolf gets a rest. Macon also in the lineup. Nuggets have the starting 5 with one exception. Jackson is in instead of Garland. Williams, and he hangs up Grayer. Reggie Williams, remember it was Williams who caught fire late against the Milwaukee Bucks 2 weeks ago on way to the Nugget win. Lojas, a good outside shooter. And look at this Milwaukee team. They have 6'10", 7 feet guys shooting from the outside.
Well, Lojas is doing that to try and get Dikembe away from just standing in the middle defensively, and Lojas can hit that outside shot.
Moving the ball around the Nuggets very well. Williams, though, puts it on the floor, gives the defense a chance to move in. Now it is Ellis. Looks to shoot every time he touches the ball, especially when he is sizzling from the outside. 17 now for Dale Ellis, and the Nuggets have to figure out a way to wrap up the veteran from Tennessee. He gives the Bucks a 5-point lead early in the fourth. Milwaukee opens up a 5-point lead. Lost last night in Detroit, 102-94. Nuggets get it back, but not for long. 9 minutes on the nose left in the fourth quarter. Connor, Forrest, and Ellis taken away by Mutombo, who touched it last. Referee says Denver ball. And Frank Hamlin, who served as an assistant for 22 years before getting this shot as a head coach, does not agree.
I think Frank had a legitimate gripe. Dikembe.
Oh, that from behind. Could have been Ellis.
Maybe so.
Jackson to force, no. And it goes into the hands of Mutombo, and he is mugged inside. And Mutombo upset with Krzysztofiak, who is certainly a lunch pail bucket type of a player.
I really don't think that Dikembe had much of a gripe there. It looked like Krzysztofiak just got in and tied him up. Maybe a little frustrated, but not really a tough foul taken by Krzysztofiak.
I think Dikembe wants some shots out of this because he was shooting. He was trying to go up to shoot.
Oh, maybe he was upset about the hit he took on top of the head.
Garland is in now for Jackson. Reggie Williams goes one-on-one against Grayer, gets nothing. 10 on the shot clock. Garland showing us that Walter Davis fake. And the foul. Mark Bacon drills it inside. And he'll go to the line to try to complete the three-point play. 14 tonight for Bacon.
Well, Mark has demonstrated this kind of confidence all season long. He doesn't care who's under there. He takes it up strong against the Buck big men. And he'll go to the free throw line, a chance for the three-point play, and more importantly, a chance to get the Nuggets within 2.
Bacon at 17 on Monday against Minnesota. 85-82. Bucks. Krzysztofiak at his second straight foul on that one sequence. And here he is again from the outside. Larry Krzysztofiak has hit 3 for 3 from the outside in this fourth quarter. And the Bucks again maintain that 5-point lead. Williams wanted that shot, and there is that guy again. Krzysztofiak gets the rebound. Ellis, the reverse. Krzysztofiak knocks it out of bounds, and that's why he became such an important player for Milwaukee, just showing that great hustle and why they have missed him over the course of the last couple of years. He has 10 points, 8 rebounds, but 6 of those points have come here in the fourth. Have kept the Bucks on top. Mutombo blocked by Lojas. Mutombo's left back. The Bucks now a 5-on-4. Mutombo hustling back to take care of things inside.
Yeah, Dikembe stood there trying to find an official to complain to, but then he realized he better get back to the defensive end. And Cadillac sits down. Todd Lichty coming in to give Reggie a quick blow.
Also Joe Wolf in the lineup, so the Nuggets now with Garland, Macon, Lichty, Wolf surrounding Mutombo. Ellis with a man right in his face. Dale Ellis with 19. It has been Ellis and Krzysztofiak here in the fourth quarter. That matches the Bucks' biggest lead. The Nuggets led by as many as 12 in the first half. Garland way short with that shot. Rojas takes care of Mutombo with one arm and takes care of the ball with the other. The Bucks trying to even the season series with Denver. Nuggets trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. Baseline, Krzysztofiak, it counts, and he is fouled.
And Larry Krzysztofiak in this fourth period looking like the Krzysztofiak that played here before the injury. And you can see the smile on his face. He may be all the way back from that knee injury. Take another look at it from the up top angle. Somehow he got that ball up and down. And he'll have a chance to give the Bucks their first double-digit lead of the evening.
From Shelby, Montana. He started at Montana and was traded a couple of times on draft day. He was drafted second round by Chicago, traded his rights to Portland, and they traded their rights to San Antonio. So he was traded twice before he played his first NBA game.
That foul is going to go against Lohaus in the middle. He and Dikembe getting tied up.
His third foul. The Bucks now have opened up a 10-point lead. And this is exactly where they were in Denver 2 weeks ago. The Nuggets trailed by 10 midway in the fourth. And Todd Lichty. Ellis saves. A rare fast break. Connor and Krzyzewski.
And remember all those second and third shots that the Nuggets were getting early in the game, Al? Now that this veteran Milwaukee club has a chance to win, those second shots have evaporated.
Moses Malone sitting on the bench during this stretch. And here is one of the two stars for the Bucks, along with Dale Ellis. Larry Krzyzewski. He had 4 points coming in to this fourth quarter. Moses Malone, a 13-time All-Star, but will be watching the game from his living room this year. He knew it was missed as soon as he let it go. Now Krzyzewski really feeling his oats. Has a couple of words with Dikembe Mutombo. Mutombo very upset at the kind of language that the Buck used, and he is explaining that to the referee. Krzyzewski has 10 of his 14 points in the fourth quarter. The steal by Connor, but he touched it last, says referee Mark Wunderlich.
Winston Garland winding up on the floor, but he's telling the official he got held on the play.
And the place will erupt as Krzyzewski returns as we get another chance to see if Connor did indeed touch it last. Hard call to make, but Wunderlich was in position. Here's steal there by Grayer. Garland. Swish. Winston Garland, who has weaved some magic in some of these road games, pulling him out. The Dallas game to mention one, and he's in double figures now with 10. Nuggets trailing it by 9. But precedence has already been set for the Nuggets against Milwaukee. 5.5 now to go. Here is Macon with another steal. He has 3 steals in the second half. He had 6 in the first meeting against the Bucks. Garland. That was a big shot right there.
And now with this 9-point lead, 5 minutes to go in the game, Milwaukee's going to start taking the air out of it. Make sure they take a lot of time off the 24-second shot clock and get a good shot every time down.
They've left themselves with 6 seconds to shoot. And Grayer gets a good shot. 95-84. Into the last minute and a half when they picked up a couple of more in garbage time. They were outscored 23-16 in the fourth by the Bucks. Mutombo, and he is on the run. Here is Mutombo, coast to coast. But he is stopped somewhere around Vegas.
And Dikembe turns around looking for Krzyzewski. Larry already sat down. Marcus Liberty checking in. The big guy on the fast break. Handling the ball. He's peeking at it every once in a while. And the foul by Lohaus before Dikembe can get a chance to take it to the goal.
Said, I wasn't even near you, Dikembe. Krzyzewski did his damage, and now he cools off on the Milwaukee bench. Nuggets need any points they can get. 22 now for Mutombo to go along with 10 rebounds and 6 block shots. Winston Garland has a seat.
And Paul realizing he's going to need some offense the last 4.5 minutes of this game, so he goes to Chris Jackson.
Jackson, Liberty, and Williams. And the scrappiness of Joe Wolf around Mutombo. And the Nuggets will really have to scrap now. 23 points for Dikembe Mutombo. It's a 7-point Buck lead. They're going to spread out the floor and try to spread out the last 4.5 minutes. And with the Nuggets scrambling all the way around, it leaves Dale Ellis open. And the way he is shooting, this is going to be a tough assignment for the Nuggets.
Well, a veteran club isn't satisfied just to break that press. They want to get an easy bucket out of it. And if you get it to the baseline, that's where the open shots are.
Liberty for 3. Argus an effective 3-point shooter. With 6 of them this year and 20 shots. Ellis now with 21 to lead the Bucks in scoring. Malone muscles in, and Wolf goes upstairs for the rebound. Bad pass right in the crowd, and a great pass. Ellis teams up with Jeff Blair. In traffic goes a one bounce behind the back. That was pretty.
Dale Ellis averaging just 1.5 assists a game.
That's funny. That's the one assist everybody will remember tonight. All right, the Bucks now are just milking this lead. They once trailed by 12. They now lead by 13. Malone and Wolf bumping inside, and that foul goes to Joe Wolf. Nuggets got off to a great start tonight. They scored the first 6 points of the game. They're up 32-22 at the end of the first quarter. There's all the fans, family and friends of Joe Wolf. Wolf's Dairy Queen, which is a franchise that Joe owns in colder Wisconsin. Oh, my! Dale Ellis has it going tonight. That counts as a 3-pointer. And coming right back for 3, the Denver Nuggets. Reggie Williams hits his 25th of the season in 70 attempts. As we duck inside 3 minutes, but don't go away. This thing's getting wild and wacky.
Well, there's going to have to be a lot more 3-pointers from where that one came from, but the Nuggets certainly capable of it.
Ellis now has hit 72 this season. At 125 attempts. Malone fouled in the backcourt by Grayer. Third foul on Grayer. Has a couple of words with Danny Crawford. 2.5 minutes to go in the ball game. 2.5 minutes before the All-Star break. And right now, the Bucks comfortable.
The Olympic Games feature our nation's best. And now, your Jeep and Eagle dealers are featuring theirs during the Jeep and Eagle National Drive for the Gold sale. Get a Jeep Cherokee with package discounts and cash back. An Eagle Talon with terrific savings. Or an Eagle Summit wagon with air at no charge. So see your dealer and drive for the gold today. It's the perfect way to celebrate all our nation's best.
Get the advantage at your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
NBA hoops, these guys are cooling off a hard one, styling and slamming, just like we wish we all could, clocking the pose. To them, you're just a witness, busting the move, yeah, taking care of business. Too hot to handle, too cold to hold. NBA hoops, they're fresh, they're full. From the cities to your hood, this card is preferred. Everybody's doing it. Hoops is the word. Jamming. Yo, take it from me, this is one Def Jam, official.
7 men who changed history.
We're ready, 100%.
Light this candle.
Talk about danger. Talk about courage.
You're OG and I feel fine.
Oh, Roger, Friendship 7.
Talk about heroes. America's first space cowboys.
They all want to see Buck Rogers. And that's us.
The ones with the right stuff. 12 noon on Denver's 2, Sunday.
Welcome back to the Bradley Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Treat your car to high-performing Citgo gasoline at participating 7-Elevens. Citgo gasoline with HTA 1000 is one of the most advanced cleaning fuels that you can buy. And on the Citgo 7-Eleven scoreboard, the Knicks have won, as has Charlotte. Atlanta with a victory at home against Orlando. Detroit, after beating Milwaukee at home last night, goes to Cleveland. What a big win for for the Pistons, who are now starting to put it together. They're 4th in a row. They go 8 over 500, their best record, and Washington at home beats New Jersey. And on the West, Dallas starting to creep up on Portland, even though they're on their home floor, and Indiana winning in San Antonio. Dikembe Mutombo with a couple of shots, hit the first, but misses the second. Nuggets get it again. Cadillac Anderson. Liberty the turnaround, and he is fouled. So Liberty looking for three-pointers, and that's the way he might get it this time.
Well, that's a smart play by Marcus. A very difficult shot, but the Nuggets need to score a lot of points in a hurry, so he shoots the turnaround jumper. Not a very smart play by Lohaus as he fouls Marcus on top of it, and there is that three-pointer.
So the Nuggets come out with a 4-point play. Mutombo one foul shot. Liberty gets the three. Nuggets still 9 points behind and running out of time. 2:20 left.
It's going to be difficult to get this veteran Milwaukee team to turn the ball over against this half-court pressure.
Breyer with 7 seconds still left on the clock. There's Liberty ahead of the field. He's going, and gonged.
I wondered how you were going to get out of that one. Well, Marcus just loses the handle on it right here. And by the time he turns around, Dale Ellis, an outstanding defensive play. So we've seen two unusual things from Ellis. A great defensive play and an assist.
We were just saying, it's a night to remember for Dale Ellis. Nuggets being out-rebounded here in the second half.
Yeah, big time. Remember, the Nuggets had a big margin in the rebound column early on, and Milwaukee just about caught him in that department.
Mutombo 24 for the Nuggets to lead the way. Reggie Williams is 17. Macon with 14. Anderson and Garland each with 10. Ellis with 24 for the Bucks. And then Kristoviak and Roberts each with 14. Marcus Liberty, the rebound to Mutombo, and he is fouled. The Nuggets getting their three-point opportunities from the inside. Moses Malone with 4 personal fouls. As I said before, it's only a minute 44 to go. Moses has not fouled out in a game in 14 years. And I would say this is as close as he has come in a long time. Moses wearing those sunglasses, just doesn't want to get recognized on the floor. And Mutombo sinks it. Has 27 now, and the Nuggets creep to within 6. And there's enough time to go in a 6-point deficit.
What's really surprising is that Milwaukee has been fouling the Nuggets on those shots inside. With the lead they had, you think they just go ahead and let them have the two-pointer, go down and take 24 seconds off the clock.
Working it down now to just 3 seconds. And Mutombo rips it down. Mutombo to Reggie Williams. This is the big basket right here. They could get it down to 4. The Nuggets are called for 3 seconds. Mutombo doing business inside, was there too long.
Yeah, everybody expected Dikembe to go up with the shot when he got it on the baseline. They were positioning themselves for the offensive rebound, and the 3-second call.
Bucks again spreading it out. Nuggets hustling from side to side. Down to 1 minute on the nose in the game. Bucks with 7 seconds to shoot. Here's Liberty gobbling up Ellis. Malone comes down to a patented Moses Malone shot to seal this one and the steal, and that should just about do it. 8 points separate the teams in a foul. You know, Moses Malone had a chance to seal the game in Denver a couple of weeks ago. With barely seconds to go, he was on the foul line and missed a shot that would have given Milwaukee a 3-point lead and certainly given them a better opportunity to win it. Instead, he missed the shot. Nuggets came down with 1/10 of a second to go, and Mutombo hit the fadeaway jumper to send it into overtime and give the Nuggets a chance to win it, 107-100.
Well, it hasn't been a great night offensively for Moses, but when he had a chance to seal the victory, that patented fall-away jumper, and he buried it, and then for good measure, The Nuggets trying to get the outlet pass up quickly to half court, and Lohaus comes away with the steal.
Malone 13 points, 10 rebounds. Now the Bucks get it again. Mutombo 27 points, 11 rebounds, and the last count we had him for 6 block shots. Don't remember him picking up any after that. Garland trying to foul Humphries, and now he does. Well, the Milwaukee Bucks storm back. They were completely outplayed in the first half by the Nuggets, trailed by as many as 10, but turn it here, especially here in the fourth quarter. Milwaukee trailed by 2 coming into the fourth, and finally Frank Hamlin can smile, and
he just pulled the dagger out of his heart.
And he moves to within 1 game of the 500 mark as a coach here with Milwaukee. Head coach, he really paid his dues. He's been around for 22 years as an assistant, as a head of player personnel, as a scout for several teams in the ABA and the NBA. And this is his opportunity. Took over December 4th. 21 seconds to go, and the Nuggets will head into the All-Star break with a 5-game losing streak. Although certainly showing some nice signs tonight. In the last couple of games, we've seen Dikembe Mutombo rise to even another level. 39 points against Minnesota. He's got 27 here tonight.
Nuggets really don't have an easy task coming out of the All-Star break. Try and break that losing streak, as their first game will be on the road against Portland.
And then back home for 2 next week, Wednesday against Cleveland, and then Friday at home against Dallas. Both starts at McNichols Arena Wednesday and Friday nights at 7 p.m. Ticking down the final seconds of this ball game. The Milwaukee Bucks outscore the Nuggets 32-21 in the fourth quarter. Frank Hamlin now could loosen up the tie, and he walks off into the All-Star break with a win. The Bucks over the Nuggets, 106-97.